Waking up to watch football at 5 in the morning wasn't exactly on the list of things I wished for this Christmas. But the Premier League is beholden to the broadcasters first and foremost. They pay the bills, after all. And they've decided that for just the second time in Premier League history, there will be a match played on Christmas Eve. How lucky are we? Of course, my predicament of having to set an alarm pales in comparison to fans having to actually travel to an away game on Christmas Eve. Chelsea have offered to provide transportation for it, which is a nice gesture, especially with reduced travel options available. But festive fixtures have become increasingly popular in major professional sports in the USA, and I suspect this trend will eventually make its way across the pond. It's inevitable when the primary audience is a global TV audience. The only surprising thing is that it's taken this long for them to try it again. The NFL has games on both December 24 and December 25, for example, while the NBA has made a thing out of Christmas Day games. All that said, a win against Wolves would be a nice Christmas present indeed. December 24, 2023, 13.0 GMT. 8 a.m. Est, 6:30 p.m. is start. Molineux Stadium, Wolverhampton. David Coote on pitch. John Brooks, Ver. Forecast. Breezy drizzle, though at least not too cold. Eastside Sports main event, WEC. UALGLA USA. Star Sports Select add on your shoepart. Sky Go ENL UK. Elsewhere Sports Live. Telemundo Deportes En Vivo Codis. Hotstar Ania. DSTV. Namo. K. Wolves team news. Just 3 points separate Wolves and Chelsea as we come into this weekend, and they've been just about as inconsistent as we have in terms of getting results. I suppose that's a classic feature of mid-table teams. They have just 4 points from their last 5 games after collecting 3 from their opening 5, losing just once in the 7 between those two stretches. New head coach Gary O'Neill, who was dismissed at the end of last season by Bournemouth despite performing a minor miracle to keep them up, and who's barely older than Thiago Silva, has done about as well as can be expected with Wolves. He will have to make do without frequently injured fullback Johnny Otto, but otherwise he has an almost fully fit squad. Goalkeeper Jose is expected to be back after missing out last weekend while Nelson Semedo and Pedro Neto face late fitness tests. Leading goalscorer Hwang Hee-chan has recently signed a new long-term contract. He's having the best season of his career, scoring in 8 of his 17 league appearances so far, and having not gone more than 2 games without a goal. He's due. Chelsea team news. One of our own frequently injured fullbacks has finally decided to try to fix his troublesome hamstrings with modern surgical techniques and will thus be out for most of the rest of the season. Joining Reece James in the long-term injury list are the likes of Mark Cucurella and Wesley Fofana. But that's a much shorter list than we've had to deal with all season. Dean Chilwell and Trevoh Chalobah have recently returned to light training, while Romeo Lavia, Noni Madueke, and Leslie Ugochukwu are back in full training and will be hoping to follow in Christopher Nkunku's footsteps out of the treatment room and into the fray. Carney Chukwuemeka and Robert Sanchez might not be too far behind either. One fresh concern is Enzo Fernandez, who had to come off in the first half of Tuesday's game and will miss out this weekend. And what was initially just called an illness has now been confirmed to also involve a potential groin injury, which is now being assessed. Fingers crossed, it's not bad news though with our luck. Chelsea have won 2 in a row in all competitions, including a rousing penalty shootout win over Newcastle on Tuesday, which made an instant hero out of Dort Petrovic in goal and got Mykhailo Mudryk a moment of glory. Petrovic looks as good as advertised so far, and we can only hope that we will soon be able to say the same thing about Mudryk. We haven't won at Molineux since 2019, when Tammy Abraham got himself a hat-trick. All 5 goals in that game were scored by academy grads, in fact. We've scored just 1 goal in 3 tries since. Hopefully we won't be so scroogey in front of goal this time.